everyone, and thank you for joining me again here on Songbird Collage Arts. I have the day to myself today. Hubby's out fishing, so I thought I would take this opportunity to do a collage with you guys. So, if you remember from my first video, I mentioned that I had picked up this Bugs book at Value Village, and I was really excited when I picked it up because it has so many incredible graphics in it. So, you know, I normally approach my collages without really having any idea of what I want to create, but with the season and springtime and coming into summer, I don't know, I've just been inspired by all the little creepy crawlies in the garden and thought, you know what, maybe I should take a look at the book that I bought and see if I could create something cool and funky with some of these pictures. So all I'm going to do is just go through and see if there's anything in particular that catches my eye. The first thing I see right away is the ladybug. So I'm going to go for it, and I think I'm going to do a ladybug theme. So as I'm doing this, what I'm thinking about is the colors. So we have a nice bluey red, we have some grays, some blacks, and some whites. So that's kind of the color palette that I'll be seeking out when I go through and add things to the palette of the canvas. So the other thing that I'm thinking about is how can I put ladybugs into an environment that they're not normally in. So I could build out a garden scene, and that might be what I do, but I could also, you know, look for opportunities where this could fit in a really unique or different or weird or strange kind of way. So, all right, we're starting with ladybugs. And I'm not gonna just stick with ladybugs. I mean, I might, but there may be other things that kind of fit into that color palette. This one's kind of gross. Not sure if I want any maggots or anything like that, but we'll see. The other thing that I'm looking for are things that are kind of standalone. So as you can see, there's images here where the wings are cut off and that sort of thing. So I'm looking for things like this guy, who I think looks pretty cool, who is easy to cut out and isn't really being blocked by any of the other images. And I'm also conscious when I'm doing this not to damage, or to try not to damage any of the other images, because I may want to use those again at another point. This one looks really cool too. And again, because it's black and white, that might fit in with what we're looking for. All right, oh, ladybugs. Okay, so if we're looking at our kind of color scheme that I'm thinking about, the yellows don't really match. And if you look at the body of the ladybug, it's not quite the same. But if you look at these guys over here, they just have the red, white, and black, so they would be a better fit. Again, because this guy's legs are chopped off, I'm probably only gonna take this guy. Some of these butterflies look beautiful, but not what we're going for today. What I also tend to do is if I have a specific thing that I'm looking for, this would make a beautiful collage. I'll keep that in mind for another day. I'll just flip through looking for the specific kind of colors that I'm looking for. I actually really like this. So not the bee necessarily, but this part here. Thinking about it. Oh, pollinators. right. So I'm not looking for anything in particular. I'm more looking for colors and things that might match or fit in with kind of the theme. Don't really have a theme, but if I did, I'd want it to fit in. All right. So flipping through, seeing what we got. Oh, the dragonflies are pretty cool. Oh, here's some more. Yeah, I like these guys. Oh, there's another one. So if you see, I lucked out and got two of the exact same bug at different scales. So you can do, you know, interesting stuff with layering and scale. So I want these as well, so I'm gonna tear out the whole page. These ones are, oops, I chopped off an antenna, or what are antennae? They're a little bit of a different shade, but that might help me to maybe build out more of like a monochrome kind of red palette. So that I can have different tones of red, but all within the same kind of shade. And then I'll just tuck this back in so I can use those butterflies as another collage. This one also has some cool coloring as well. I'm thinking about, I don't know if this one really works anymore, but I'm looking at this guy thinking, hey, this one looks pretty cool. It would also be kind of funny to, there's some more ladybugs. It'd be kind of funny to do a gardenscape, but play with the scale. So have like big giant bugs on like tiny little flowers. So I might do something like that as well. I like this picture here. Sometimes I'll grab an artist's knife just so that I don't damage any of the other images. Unfortunately, what usually happens is I cut through multiple layers of paper. So you just have to be kind of careful. And I know, like, never cut towards yourself, but I'm being careful. Okay, so with this, I could use this as part of the background if I wanted to like start layering. And then what I am also looking at is what these look like. And immediately these look like cherry tomatoes to me. So if I'm going through, you know, some of my cooking magazines, I'm going to be looking for things that are in the same tone and the same shape, and these look very tomato-like. So I could possibly do like a background of different shades and colors of tomatoes so that I don't have to cut this out, and I can just use this as kind of like part of the background, and then layer, you know, strawberries or other things that have that same color to it. And then for the more intact bugs, I can put those as the main features on the picture. So my mind's already going. I'm starting to think, hey, you know, what does this look like? It kind of looks like a tongue or a shield even. I don't know. I'm thinking about a lot of different stuff with the bugs. And that's why creativity and imagination is so cool, right? Because there's no rules. You can just do whatever you like. This guy's really cool too. I'm gonna steal him. A fungus beetle. I like him too, but I don't really want to have any of that yellow tone in the picture. All right, so that's my bug book for today. So what I'm gonna do now is just, I'm working with a 9x12 Arteza classic canvas panel. It has a cotton surface that's raised enough that the glue sticks. You do have to put quite a bit of glue on the base layer, but that's that for that. And I'm also using Elmer's washable school glue stick. These are the purple sticks. They go on purple, but they dry clear. I find that they're a good value. They spread fairly well, and I like it because you can see where you've glued. So it makes it easy to make sure that you're getting a good seal or a good stick on your paper. Yeah, and then just regular old basic Amazon shears, and I make sure that I only use these for paper. Okay, so safety first, I'm gonna pop the top on my little blade there, and I'm gonna start looking at the orientation of the bugs. So what can I do with the bugs, the ladybugs, to make this picture pop and make this picture cool? So one of the things I'm thinking already is I'm going to have, unless I want to get really super detailed and cut out all of the legs and stuff, which I guess I could, I'll think about it. It would be easier for me, for all of us, if I try to integrate the background into the collage and then I can just stick over top of it. That way I get the detail of the image without the risk of messing up some of my cuts. So again, this comes back to laziness and the fact that I don't have the steadiest hand when I cut. Things that aren't matching, I will have to cut out anyway. So if there's any opportunity for me to minimize the amount of cutting, I'm gonna take it. With this one, it has an orange background, so I'm gonna have to cut that one out. So just judging by where the bugs are, I mean, this naturally kind of is encroaching here. Looks like it's leering. These ones is kind of background. This guy could be like flying away. Something like that. Yeah. Again, thinking about how I could superimpose this one on one of similar, well, it's the exact same image. And yeah, not quite sure what I'm gonna do, but I think I have enough of the insects to start playing around with how I want to build this out. So again, keeping a totally open mind, I may cut them out, I may leave them with the greenish backgrounds. We'll just see what the magazines have in store. So as I mentioned, a lot, like these almost look like peaches or eggs even. So if I'm going for a certain theme, you can kind of tell by my aesthetic so far that I like a lot of bright colors, I like commonalities in shape and textures and that sort of thing. So I'm just gonna start looking through some food magazines and see if I can find any tomato-y type stuff or things that might lend themselves to being interesting in the picture. So already there's some of that color. I don't know if I'm gonna take it anyway. I was just thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna build a red base later, but if I do, I like the different pinks and oranges and reds. There's enough commonalities in the colors here to make it something that, you know, hey, I want to set that aside because I might be able to integrate it in. So here's some cherry tomatoes. So I'm going to take the red ones. And again, again, I'm looking for the ones that, I mean, I could go for this one here, but it has a zoodle on top, so there's not much usable tomato. Set this aside. The other thing that I'm looking for at the same time is how colors match. So if I'm looking at something like this beetle, these don't match, but the shapes are kind of cool. But if I look at this one, the color's a lot closer, so I think I'm gonna snag the mac and cheese here. Because this could be a mountain that the bugs are crawling on. I didn't think I was gonna use yellow, but I mean, it's a Sunday morning and I'm feeling kind of lazy. So we will just work with the images that we find. And that's one of the good things about, or one of the best things about collaging, is this is your adventure. You can do whatever you want. Sometimes, I mean, in my first video, that was a four and a half hour collage. Some days you just want to dig into it and you're inspired. I like this. I like this a lot. Yes, I'm gonna go for it. Okay, so just to give you kind of an idea into my thought process here, when I first, the first image that I found, I think was now I forget. This maybe? One of the ladybugs. This one, I think. When I first found that ladybug, I was like, okay, the color palette of this picture is probably gonna lean towards red, white, and black. Now that I'm gathering more images, the direction's changing. So you have to be really, you know, malleable in terms of your creativity and your artistic expression, because with collaging, you're essentially learning as you go the direction that the picture is going to take. So I didn't know I was going to put mac and cheese in the painting, or in the sorry for the shaking there, my cat jumped on my camera mount. So what I was saying is I didn't start out the collage thinking that I was gonna have mac and cheese and avocado and stuff like that. But as I'm looking at the pictures that I've collected, it's steering me towards, hey, you know what? If you added green here, you could use this as kind of like a hill or a field, or this brown is similar. Like, collage is so interesting in how it is that choose your own adventure. And again, there are no mistakes in collage. Just have fun. It's all about having fun. It's all about looking at things in new and creative ways. Here's some more tomatoes. Here's another avocado. It's on that cardstock though. It's not the best to stick down. Okay, so here's some strawberries. But here's some beans as well, which also look kind of insect-like. Again, when we compare it to something like these, I'm wondering if that's something that we could work in. Could be. I'm gonna take them. here's some more avocado. Oops. And that'll let me get that other tomato as well. Take this steak. This could be good dirt. Same with the chicken, actually, is a nice kind of soil-like color. Since this is kind of just scrap anyway, I'm gonna take these strawberries, and that might be something I could use just for some extra dimension in the background. This is interesting, actually. I'm gonna steal the fries. As soon as I saw them, I thought, hey, that looks kind of like a little wood pile or something that, you know, maybe a bug could be crawling on. So that also leads me to think, hey, anytime I see fries as I'm going through these magazines, grab them, because I could build out, you know, a little wood pile. So I don't want just the one. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can build a bunch of little fries. There's certain things that tend to be themes in my work. Eggs is definitely a theme. Cats. Yeah. Roses. Could be because most of the magazines I have are cooking magazines and home lifestyle magazines. Okay. So what I'm going to do is do an assessment. So we already know we have all these little buggies. So that's good to go. Now, looking at things, thinking about, okay, how can I integrate this into the picture? And I'll do the finer cuts once I decide if it's an image I want to use. I don't want to waste the time cutting things out completely if it's not something I'm going to be using. But I mean, granted, I do that all the time, where I'll cut something out thinking, oh, this will look awesome, and then I decide not to use it because it just doesn't quite fit in with what I'm going for. Oh, and there's more berries on here too. Like these could even be like insect eggs or something like that, right? And there could be one of the bugs is like protecting their eggs. I don't know. I have lots of ideas. Things are happening. Things are going nuts in my brain right now with all the things that I want to do. So, and that's why it's so fun. And this is a great thing to do with your kids. It's a great way to engage in, you know, your whole family's creativity. And, you know, I'm no doctor or expert in the matter, but you know, I believe that having a creative mind, or a mind that's active in art and creativity, is just more intelligent all around, because you learn to see things in different ways, and you learn to, you know, appreciate beauty and things that you wouldn't expect to find beautiful. I mean, you know, by the time I'm finished, I'm going to be making like mac and cheese, avocados, and a chicken into like some sort of garden scene, right? So, you know, it's really about letting your mind just take you where it's gonna go. Okay, so what am I thinking? I definitely want a wood pile, maybe coming up or down rather from the side. So maybe like some more fries over here. And then I have all of this mac and cheese. So I'm thinking I can blend this guy into the mac and cheese. So then he has kind of, or his background has that green sort of color. So if I cut this avocado right down the middle, I'm just creating layers of interest and layers of things that you could, I mean, could potentially see in a garden. I don't know, half a giant avocado. But again, it's building the layers so that you're suspending that disbelief, you're suspending that imagination, right? And I mean, I could, you know, layer this in such a way, I could even cut this here, layer it in such a way that this looks like a grouping of eggs, right? I might actually do that. See, the mind is just flowing. Because if it looks like eggs or something, then it could be something that the insects are protecting or something. So something kind of like this. And of course it'll look different once everything's trimmed up. And then I had these kind of egg-like things. I'm liking how this is taking shape. So again, these weird kind of globules of eggs. I think I'm gonna cut this one out and put him on top of here. I think. And I like this here, just coming over there. And more bugs. Okay, so I really like the direction it's going. What I'm thinking too is I could also, in the background, again, I'm really big on cutting things in half because it gives you symmetry. So when you're doing it, it's like, oh yeah, oh hey, wait, that's like a chicken leg. Or hey, this is a delicious ribeye steak with yummy stuff on it. So what I'll probably do is build out kind of the back of the garden. So that'd be like the soil, and then I would need like, I don't know, whatever this means, flowers or some sort of background. I'm thinking probably in the green shades. Okay, so I have some ideas. What I'm gonna do now is start cutting things out. That way I'll know how much filler stuff I'll need. Again, if I'm gonna have like a den of eggs or something, I don't know. Okay, so I'll just start chopping. So how's everybody doing? How's life? Life for me is pretty good. Work is nuts, which is why I spend, you know, a good part of my hobby time collaging, because I just love, just the creativity. And the sound of cutting paper is the best. The other thing I would say too is I may not use everything that I've selected, but I like the option of using as much as I want. Even as I'm going through this, you know, this has a lot of potential. You know, this could even be the center of the picture. I don't know, I'm still thinking, but I like the idea of this as a bundle of eggs, insect eggs. And I'm gonna cut this guy out completely. And this is actually quite heavy stock. I'm not the best with the finer cuts. So like even you can see he kind of has spiky legs. He has smooth legs now. I just don't have the steadiness. So don't be afraid to make adjustments based on, you know, what you're able to do. You know, we're not all able to use the artist blade to that level of delicate little elbow, insect elbow here. I'm trying to leave it so that you guys can see what I'm doing. And I do apologize on some of my other videos. The cutting goes out of frame, and it's just because I'm trying to make sure that I don't mess it up. Trying maybe this one, it's a little bit bigger, I can get some finer detail. What usually ends up happening is I'll chop off his leg or whatever. It's just too delicate. There we go. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Allergy season. Yeah, so it's just me and the cats home today. So if you see camera shaking or anything like that, it's one of my Furbies. For some reason, they just love it when I'm collaging. especially Bella, the brown one. She'll just plop right down. I'm sure you've seen her. All right, we're coming into the home stretch almost. You can see why I tend not to cut things out that are super intricate. It's just with my arthritis, it's challenging. It's not that I can't do it, it's just sometimes the cuts aren't great. I made it through the antennae. Yes. All right, I'm almost done this guy. Should have picked something with less legs. Okay. So something like that. I apologize if you see skipping in the video. I have allergies that are killing me right now. I'm sure there's lots of you that can relate. Summer, you wait all year for summer and then you get allergies. So. Yay. Just trimming up the grass here. But these are easy cuts that I can do, so where I can get the detail, I'm gonna take it. mac and cheese mountain. This one's going to be quick. The cutting is actually my favorite part. It's very relaxing, meditative. All right. And just thinking about how I can kind of make this look like a what I might do with these instead is actually have them kind of come down. So I should be able to find some more, so I could, like, I don't know, build out something that way. I like this, but I don't know if it matches the picture. Okay, I'm gonna cut this guy. get as close as I can. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it does make for a better collage if the lines are fairly clean. Luckily, fries are kind of bumpy anyways, so it's very forgiving. Ooh, we got blue jays. I don't know if you can hear that. I'm up in Edmonton, Canada, and it's nice to hear the birds and things when spring comes. So I'm just thinking where I can put that. What I'm thinking is maybe building up kind of a fry castle over here. Don't know if I'm gonna, you know what, executive decision. I know I'm not gonna be able to cut out the antenna and his front legs, so sorry, buddy. All right, I think I can get his back legs. So. There we go. I wish I could have got his antenna, but no point doing it just to know you're gonna chop him off. So this one at least is bigger, so I shouldn't have any, well, have less problem on this guy. my ladybugs. What I might do is actually something like this. I think that looks really cool. Just gonna cut around the grain because hopefully I can just stuff them in here somewhere. And I'm still thinking about these guys too. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is take a short break from cutting and look for more avocados. So let's see, another food magazine here. Avocado toast. Might actually not look too bad because they're all sort of going in that direction anyway, so that's a maybe. Avocados and fries, although some of these baguettes look kind of similar. Oops. Let's move that guy over. Oh, there we go. I knew I had one in here somewhere. This is great because it'll make a good background. So if I do like the whole background in avocado, it'll look, I'm hoping kind of like, you know, remember Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? When you have like the big giant grass and weeds and stuff, and then all the huge insects in there too. So that's a score. Just looking. I'm just looking at these thinking that this could add some visual interest to the, because if you look at the avocados, these look very similar to the pits, so I might be able to add some of these to kind of match it up a little bit. Match. All right. These also kind of look like eggs. I'm thinking this could sort of blend in this area here. You could be like protecting some eggs or something. I don't know how this, like, I don't know what I was expecting when I started working with insects, but it's metamorphosizing. Metamorphosizing? I'll have to look that one up. All right. Metamorphing? It's gonna bother me. All right. Anybody knows what the real word I should be using is there? Please put it in the comments down below. I am actually a professional writer, and I love synonyms and things, so sometimes when you spend your whole life reading though, you never actually hear words spoken out loud. So it's anybody's guess what they could, how they could be pronounced. Great. I found a little bit of avocado. Again, I'm just looking for that sort of green to yellow gradient that the avocados have. See, it's just like it all matches. So with pieces like this, once I trim those out, I can use those to kind of fill in the gaps as well. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'll leave that one for now. It's okay. I don't need to steal every little avocado bit out of here. So I'll probably go through a few magazines just to make sure that I have enough avocado to fill out that background. Sorry, I just saw a cupcake. I was just attracted to it because it looks like soil. Okay, just thinking. I'm just looking for, I have some food magazines here. Another one that could be integrated in is limes as well. I don't want to use the cover because it's that hard stock, but if I see any limes, ooh, there's some fries. I even like the challah, and the baguettes too. It's getting a little small for me. I tend to do things a little bit more macro. These are interesting looking too. I might have too much of that type of look already though. Even this here might be, I might actually take this to kind of place in this area here and lay the fries kind of over top. That way I don't have to necessarily cut out the entire background of fries. So we'll just taco it up. I think that sounds like a good idea. Oops. Ooh, cantaloupe, good call. Okay, sorry. If you look at the cantaloupe, this is actually a great way to bleed the macaroni into the avocado. So if I can find more of these, that would be ideal. Cantaloupe. So now I'm looking for a bunch of stuff. I'm looking for cantaloupe. I'm looking for, this is interesting too. I'm just thinking like, if I could have this. I think I might grab that too. Because it would make a good kind of background. It looks almost like grass or like dead grass. Let's stick these guys here. Okay. So bring my original picture back. I have my bugs, avocados. Okay, I really like the cantaloupe. I might actually go back into some of the magazines I just went through and see if I can find any cantaloupe. It's one of those things where you just, as you're collaging, you see things that fit kind of the image. Like if you look at the green and how it fades into the orange or the peachy color, it really matches well with how the landscape is changing colors on the collage. And as you do more collages, you'll start to pick that kind of stuff up. The other thing too is, as you build out your collection of collage materials, you'll remember pictures that you've seen previously. So you'll be like, oh yeah, I know I've seen a giant avocado in one of these food magazines. Yeah, so you just start remembering. It makes it really fun to go through the magazine and go, oh yeah, I remember this one. Let me add this to my collage. So see how it's kind of bleeding in that green, and then we can go through and add more of the, yeah. So that one I'm really happy with. Let's see here. Oh, we have these jumbo avocados. I might put this one right at the very top. I'm just sort of wiggling the paper. I don't want to spend all the time doing it perfect. As long as it looks kind of rough, it doesn't really matter, because it's going to be probably covered anyway. I don't know if I'll need that. But. And then more of this pit. I'll keep it just in case. And we have this toast. I don't want the toast necessarily. I want just the avocado. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I like how it's kind of layered, so you can see the gradient of the colors, even though it's all stacked up and covered with arugula and cheese and pine nuts. See, this is what happens when I do this before lunch. I'm always hungry. Okay. Something like that. So I can put that pretty much anywhere I want. So this one's gonna go in the back. And sometimes you cut out stuff that you're like, you know what, I don't like how that looks. Or let me just reposition it. All right. So where are we? Well, I have some fries there. I grabbed this, but I'm not sure if it's pretty busy. Again, this is just as filler. so that, again, I don't have to cut out so much of the fry type stuff, but you're still getting that look because of the cheese strands. So that's an option there. And then you can put more fries on top. And again, I just wiggle the scissors. As long as it looks reasonably like a crinkle cut fry, that's all I'm concerned about. I mean, I could spend time here and go into every little nook and cranny, but these aren't fine art collages, they're technically folk art collages, so just do the darn thing, is what I say. That said, if you're interested in purchasing any of my collages, there's a link on the page to my Redbubble store, and each week I upload the design that I filmed for that week, and you can get it on coffee mugs, you can get it on, you know, framed prints, shower curtains, all sorts of fun stuff. iPhone cases, things like that. So I appreciate all the support that you guys are giving me. It's really heartwarming to see everyone, you know, interested in supporting artists. All right, so there's some fries I can just stick in here. There we go. So then if I get another bug to come live up here, this one looks maybe a bit easier to cut out. There we go. So now his little home is going to be right up there. These ones I think I'm going to put like somewhere right in the middle of the picture. And again, I'm just trying to build out a scene that I think is going to look like a garden, or like, not even a garden, but like the under part of a garden. The underbrush. So what I'm going to do to try to make this kind of fit in better is just do like a rough cut around, kind of in the same sort of format as the mac and cheese, just so that it kind of blends in. Kind of like that. Trying to see, I thought I had another big avocado, but I guess not. So I have some avocado bits. I'm wondering if I could put this steak or something up here. Chicken. Kind of like the pasta. I don't want to have to cut anything out, so. Even over here it might look good. Like that there. And then the chicken. Sorry about the helicopters. In summer, Edmonton's, the base that's just north of here, gets a lot of activity, so. All right, I do like the chicken. So if I can fill out this area here with the chicken and the steak, and I actually have a couple other chicken legs just randomly on some of my other stuff. One of the things that I really love about collage too is the hidden elements. So when you're looking at a collage and you're like, oh, that looks pretty cool, butterflies and stuff, it's not until you really dig into the visual that you're like, wait a minute, that dirt, that looks like, is that a chicken leg? Cool, right? Or hey, that little straw pile, are those fries? So I always try to, you know, let my imagination go and not be worried about, like, people are gonna think it's weird that there's like chicken legs in my picture. That's what collage is all about. It's surreal, it's campy, it's fun, it's artistic and creative. It's just something different. Chicken leg here. And the cool thing too, this is all bent, makes it hard to stuff. The cool thing too is that I'm playing with perspective too, right? Because I have chicken leg right here that's small next to like a jumbo leg, right? This was a beautiful ribeye steak that I actually used in another one of my collages. This is just kind of the scraps, the leftovers. I'm already starting to lose my voice. I apologize, guys. I'm not used to talking this much, so when you have allergies, it's definitely the season for losing your voice. So I'll do my best. Some of you commented that you really like the ASMR aspect of hearing the paper cutting, so when I'm doing the cutting and stuff, I'll try to back off a little bit, give my voice a rest, and let you guys just enjoy the sound of the cutting. Oh, here's another avocado. I know I had another big one in there. All right. There, that's what I was looking for. Awesome. Okay. So, I have my chicken, I have my avocado. What else do I need? Oh, and look, this will come in handy again right up here. I can stuff that in there. So I need a bit more steaky stuff up here. I don't think I have any. I do have extra pieces of avocado, which I think I'm going to cut out right. Oh yeah, I forgot about the eggs. So this was a score. I thought these looked pretty cool. So I'm just going to, again, not be too prescriptive about cutting them out, but I do like that they're matching that theme. They match the beans that we have on the other side of the image. They're just thematically right on target. And they prevent aging. So, I mean, what could be better than that? All right. So then I just put his little pile of eggies down here that he's protecting. Yeah. Something like that. And then I have some avocado bits. And I also have these limes as well, which I'm going to grab a few of these. Again, I want the ones that are show that gradient in the green to the yellow or the light green. Right. So what I'm looking for now is a little bit more of the roasted chicken look here, and I think more cantaloupe looking stuff for right in here. So that's my mission, and I choose to accept it. All right, let's see what kind of magazine I can get here. I'm actually going to move this. It always tends to blow away if I put it there. This is a Thanksgiving one, so I knew there would be something in here. That should be enough for our sky, or our background. Sorry, I forgot what I was originally looking for. I don't know if there will be much cantaloupe in this version. Although, sometimes you want stuff to work that just doesn't, and you just have to let it go. Pumpkin might also work, but I like the peach color to the green color. So if I can find something else that matches that, that would be great. It's funny now, all I can see are like insect eggs everywhere. It's not quite what I was looking for. Shrimp could work, they're not quite the right color. More mac and cheese. These are kind of interesting, actually. They look almost like weird insect eggs. And they're almost the right color. They're not really the right color. I have an idea for them. Where I have the, I'm thinking of like lining some of these with little crescent, whatever these are. What are they? Scallion sesame pinwheels. And again, yes, they're scallion sesame pinwheels, but they also could be like little insect larvae or something. Again, thinking outside the box, looking at things in a different way, going, hey, this looks kind of bizarre. Is there a way that I can integrate this into my collage? Even these look kind of weird, hey? Might actually steal these two. Oh, yeah. So I don't want the collage to get too cluttered, but now that I'm on that theme of like insect eggs, they keep kind of popping up. Like the pomegranate, very interesting. I could, in theory, which I might actually do, is this is very close to this, so I might actually layer it. Because it's like, it almost looks gross, right? Like, I don't know. So, you know, that's one of the approaches that I take with collaging as well, is You know, when I first started this particular piece, I was like, oh, it's gonna be about ladybugs and yada yada. But as you build it through, it takes a life of its own. You know, I'm just at the whim of my creativity. So I just sort of submit, because if you don't, you know, you get quote unquote artist block. It's one of those things that I've never personally had ever. Ever. It's just one of those things that I have so many ideas, I have so many hobbies that there's no way I could be blocked, because everything that I do spurs more ideas to other things. Like even now, you know, you look at things as you're collaging that you kind of store in your memory bank for next time, thinking like, oh yeah, I'm building a, I don't know, a giant flower blossom in light pinks. I remember there was ham in this one. So then you start building the ham into the, right? Like it's just looking at colors, looking at ways that you can integrate the surreal into the everyday. Ooh, this might work. I'm gonna pull it just in case. I'm just looking. So again, I'm looking for the full, so there's a few of them in there that I could probably trim off. It's not quite a cantaloupe, but I mean, it's what I was looking for, so I'll see if it's the right shades. It might be too deep of a green. Oh, you can give it a try. More of these things too. I'm just gonna grab one more to look through, and then we'll start cutting out what we just found in that other book. This is also thinner paper. It's not a very good quality magazine, so I don't really want to use anything big, but this could be helpful for some of the smaller top layer pieces. If there's anything that jumps out. Mainly looking at the food section. Just to see if there's anything interesting. I like that green onion actually. One green onion. I wish I could find more of these, but maybe on my travels through this magazine I'll find some more. Okay, so let's see. Okay, this one I'm definitely going to put on here because it looks cool. And that's, you know, one of the things that I love about collage is how when you're in the middle of an active project and you're going through magazines, so many of the elements just sing to you, where it's like, pick me, because it fits right into the aesthetic that you're going for. And I know when I'm doing collages, I get really excited. You know, I'm flipping through magazines, and if I see something that unexpected, especially something unexpected that seems to fit in with what I'm working on, I get super excited because it's like everything's coming together. See, like, look how cool that looks with the, like, it's just neat. I really like this. Okay, now we have our chicken skyline, or I don't know why I keep calling it a sky. It's like dirt, I guess. And again, this is just gonna fit right at the top here, just to fill in any of those gaps. So it'll be kind of like the base piece. So all the chicken on top. Okay, I'm not gonna fiddle because if I do that, I'll be here all day. Okay, so then we have this middle section here, which I'm kind of digging this, but I don't know. Okay, I just, again, looking at the color, it's not, this is way too dark. So I wanted just like the little edge of the yellow. I don't know if I have any more. So these I think I might put over here in the corner because they look like little, what was that, a pine beetle or something? I can't remember what that was. Looks like his eggs. I mean, they look like olives, of course, but this comes back to the suspension of your disbelief, right? It's like, those look like olives, but hey, they kind of look like insect eggs. And I don't mean that to say that to put you off olives for life, because I love them too. But again, it comes back to looking at things from a different perspective. Would help if I wasn't so shaky. There we go. All right, and I'm just gonna put this like way off in the corner so that it's not a focus of the picture, but it's still there and you're still thinking like, hey, are those olives? And then for these ones, I mean, maybe this is something I could build out. I'm just gonna take these off. I may still use these. And again, this comes back to like, sometimes you cut out pieces that never make it onto your picture. Because maybe I could sort of bleed these into here, and then I only need to fill out this section here. Thinking. Okay, so I'm gonna cut each one of these out so that it's an individual pinwheel. So we'll just cut these guys out. As you can see, the color is fairly similar, so if I can kind of have the darker pinwheels up here and then bleed into the macaroni, it might look pretty cool. Yeah, I love how these look almost like little snails or insect larvae or something. And that's stuff to keep in mind as you're building out your collection of finished pieces, is that once you discover that something looks like something, you can use it for a similar theme later. So like if I ever do another insect picture, then I know that anything pinwheel can be integrated because it looks kind of insecty. It's just like oftentimes I use green onions in my work too because they look like trees with the roots and everything. So you could use like a green onion, which I have here as an example. You can use a green onion as the trunk of a tree and then build out the tree or flowers or whatever because it already kind of looks like a tree or a trunk. I'm just looking at the picture out of the corner of my eye and I see that I actually have almost a battle of egg protectors. What I was thinking too is I can kind of make it so that this ladybug has her own little stash up here with all the little cinnamon buns or whatever, pinwheels here. So then it's like 3 little hordes of eggs. And then the mama and her baby riding her back is flying off into the sunset. I'm gonna go for it. What I might also do, instead of trying to find cantaloupes, is use peaches, because I know some of the magazines that I have layered pictures of layered peach slices. And I'm pretty close to losing my voice, so I really apologize. Whenever I do these commentary videos, I forget that it's like 4 hours of me talking. So thank you for being patient. Because I don't normally talk when I do these. My husband's usually home when I do them, which is why I can't record with me talking, because he's watching whatever he's watching in the background, and I'd get flagged for copyright, I'm sure. So you guys are in for a treat today. All right, so yeah, like if I just take these guys and move them up here kind of and have like her little stash of little eggs trickling down. So conceptually, I know what I want to do. It's hard when they're not stuck down. But, and then kind of bleeding into here. I think that looks really neat. Good. Okay, So I'm really, really, really liking how this is taking shape. I think it looks really neat. Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna need these guys. What I'm gonna do now is, I'm wondering if I can fill in some of the space with some of this. It doesn't really fit. It doesn't fit. Sometimes things just don't work out. Oh, this could be like a mama and a papa. Okay, I'll do it. I'm feeling sentimental. I haven't seen my mom in a while, so. Hi, Mom, if you're out there. I was talking to her the other day, and she said that these videos are like being able to hang out with me, which I thought was really nice. Not being able to see each other for a long time. I was lucky to get to see her in January, but I know a lot of us are missing our families. I can't really see his leg, so I'm just making up what I think his leg should look like. And you know, I'm gonna end up chopping it off. I should just cut it and be done with it. Okay, this is an legless ladybug. There, I'll hide it with the French fries. There we go. Sweet. Okay, so I'm thinking in here, I'm not gonna need these guys because I don't want it to be too cluttered. The other thing about collage is you kind of have to know when to stop. I mean, at what point is it enough, right? I mean, I could probably layer for days, but we're pushing what, like 2 hours now? So what I'm thinking is maybe just a little band of peaches in here. And I know I've seen them, I can't remember where, but that'll sort of flesh out this part here, and then we can start gluing. So I'm thinking I'm gonna try another food magazine here. And then if I see anything in my travels that I think would fit better, then ooh, the leaks. No. See, and it's one of those things where you can, when you're getting towards the end of the collage building process, you kind of have to show a bit of restraint, or else it's gonna look too muddled and too crowded. So even though I may see stuff that could work, peaches, here they are. What, like the luck, okay. The other thing I mentioned in one of my earlier videos is that sometimes advertisements get placed for a year, 3 years, 5 years, with very similar look and feel. And then if you have, for instance, if I have something that's a Food Network magazine and I have the whole year, I'm gonna end up with a whole bunch of identical advertisements. So it wasn't like I picked up the magazine and ta-da, peaches. No, it's that I happen to have a whole bunch of food magazines, Food Network magazines, and they're all from the same year and St. Ives, I guess. You're getting lots of promo in this video. They had that peach advertisement. I think the same thing happened the last time I was doing this with a grape advertisement. I ended up doing a whole bunch of grapes in there because I had magazines that had all the same advertisements. So sometimes it just works out. All right, I might not need those ones. Okay, I'm gonna cut this right down the middle to maximize my peachiness here. And what's cool is this almost kind of blends in there as well. And then I was thinking, I have those nuts, the walnuts and stuff that I might be able to integrate in here too. Oh, this is cool because it looks like almost cavernous. I'm really digging how this is turning out. It looks like a little like insect bug cave or something. Like with the shadows. Like I just totally lucked out in how all this looked out. How all of this looks. So like they're climbing out of the eggy, I don't know, it just looks cool. Maybe one of these here. So something like that is what I'm thinking. With like these little things. This is so hard to do when it's not glued down. Yeah, like with these kind of overlapping and then like falling out of the nest up here. I think this looks really cool. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So again, because I haven't glued anything yet, there may be opportunities for additions after I get the base, because I may want to look through my food magazines again to see if I can find more pinwheel stuff just to kind of fill in here. But I have also these nuts and figs, which I thought I could use up here. To kind of tie in the green part. I'm thinking. Again, I'm not sure. So it looks kind of like the ground. They're burrowing. The raisin. But this could kind of be part of the soil, maybe. This actually kind of fits in too. Something like that. Somebody's doing heavy equipment outside. I apologize. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is take a break. Hopefully by then the person doing the grinding outside will be finished. And then we're gonna come back and do the gluing.